brass doorknob felt like ice against my palm. I remember that moment with crystalline clarity. The way my hand trembled, the metallic click of the lock disengaging, the whisper of hinges that seemed to beg me to turn back. But I didn't. I pushed the door open, and the warm air that rushed out carried a scent I recognized. His cologne, mixed with her perfume. The perfume I'd complimented just 2 weeks ago over brunch. Then I saw them, my husband and my sister. She looked at me and smiled. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. My name is Sophia Bennett, and this is the story of how betrayal taught me that silence can be the loudest weapon of all. I'm 43 years old. For 20 years, I thought I had built the perfect life, a beautiful home in the suburbs of Portland, a successful career as an architect, a devoted husband named Marcus, and a daughter, Alina, who just graduated from UCLA. My younger sister, Nicole, had always been part of that picture, the fun aunt, the one who showed up for holidays and birthdays, who Alina adored almost as much as she adored me. Or so I thought. October 12th started like any other Thursday. I'd left work early for a dentist appointment that got canceled at the last minute. I decided to surprise Marcus at home. We'd been married for 20 years, high school sweethearts who'd made it through college, career changes, and all the ups and downs of building a life together. He was 45, still handsome with that salt and pepper hair I loved running my fingers through. The house was quiet when I arrived. His car was in the driveway, so I knew he was home. "Marcus?" I called out. No answer. Maybe he was napping. He'd been working late on a big case. He's a corporate attorney, and I knew he was exhausted. I climbed the stairs, each step creaking in that familiar way. Our bedroom door was slightly ajar. I pushed it open. The afternoon sunlight streamed through the window, painting everything gold. Desmotes danced in the beam. For a split second, I thought, how beautiful. Then reality crashed in. Marcus was on our bed, the bed we'd picked out together 10 years ago, the bed where we'd celebrated anniversaries and comforted each other through losses. And next to him was Nicole, my sister, 28 years old, 15 years younger than me, with her auburn hair spread across my pillow. Time stopped. My brain couldn't process what I was seeing. This had to be a mistake, a misunderstanding, something explainable. Nicole turned her head. Our eyes met, and she smiled. Not shock, not horror, not the panicked scramble of someone caught doing something unforgivable. Just a slow, deliberate smile that curled at the corners of her lips. Her green eyes, the same shade as mine, held something I'd never seen before. Triumph. The sound that escaped my throat was small, strangled, like something dying. Marcus finally saw me. His face cycled through emotions in succession: shock, fear, guilt, calculation. "Sophia," he breathed. My name sounded wrong in his mouth. But Nicole didn't move. She kept that smile fixed on her face, and in that moment I understood everything. This wasn't an accident I'd stumbled upon. This was a performance, and I was the intended audience. I stepped back. Just one step. "Sophia, wait." Marcus was scrambling up, reaching for his clothes, for words, for any explanation that might salvage this. I closed the door, softly. My hand remained on the knob as I stood in the hallway, my entire body shaking so hard I couldn't tell where I ended and the trembling began. I walked downstairs. Each step felt impossible. like moving through concrete. My hand gripped the banister, something solid, something real in a world that had just shattered. I reached the front door and stopped. Where would I go? This was my house, my home, the sanctuary I'd created. And he had brought her here, my sister, into our bed. I turned around and walked into the kitchen, filled a glass of water from the tap. My hands shook so badly that water sloshed onto the granite countertop. I tried to drink, but couldn't swallow. The kitchen looked exactly as it had this morning, normal, unchanged, while my entire world had been destroyed. I heard the bedroom door open, footsteps on the stairs. I stood very still, my back to the doorway. Marcus appeared, dressed now, his hair disheveled. I couldn't look at his face. "Sophia," his voice cracked, "please, let me explain." Explain? The word came out hollow, dead. This isn't... God, Sophia, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Nicole came down behind him, fully dressed, perfectly composed. Her hair was slightly mussed, but otherwise she looked calm, as if she'd just stopped by for a casual visit. She looked at me. "Sophia, I should probably go." "You think?" The words came out sharper than I'd ever spoken to anyone, sharper than I knew I could speak. She had the grace to drop her eyes for a moment. When she looked back up, there was no shame. Just something harder, more deliberate. "I'm sorry you had to find out this way." This way. Not sorry for what she'd done, sorry for how I discovered it. "Get out of my house," I said. My voice sounded like a stranger's, distant, cold. She walked to the door with measured steps, not scurrying, not ashamed. At the threshold, she paused. "Elena doesn't need to know. We can keep this between us." The audacity, the sheer breathtaking audacity. "How thoughtful of you," I said, acid dripping from every word, "to consider my daughter's feelings." She flinched. Finally, a crack in that composure. And then she was gone. Marcus and I stood in the kitchen, husband and wife, two people who'd promised forever, who'd built a life, raised a child together. Now we were just wreckage. "How long?" I asked, my voice mechanical. He closed his eyes. "Sophia, how long?" 4 months. 4 months. 16 weeks of lies. Of him kissing me goodbye and hello. Of family dinners where Nicole sat at our table, laughing, pretending. 4 months of him touching me while thinking of my sister. Where? My voice was still flat. Clinical. Besides here, where else? Does it matter? Yes. He slumped into a chair, put his head in his hands. Hotels, her apartment, my office, twice. His office, where I'd brought him lunch on his birthday last month, surprised him with his favorite sushi and a cupcake with a candle. Had she been there that day? Hiding? Or maybe not hiding. maybe brazenly present while I played the devoted wife. "Did you laugh at me?" I asked quietly. He looked up, confused. "What?" "The two of you. Did you laugh at how stupid I was? How naive? How blind?" "No, God, no, Sophia. We never—" He stood, moved toward me. I stepped back so fast I hit the counter. "Don't touch me." He froze. Tears filled his eyes. Real tears. He was crying. For what? His mistake? His guilt? Or just because he'd been caught? "I love you," he said, voice thick. "I know you don't believe me, but I do. I love you. This thing with Nicole, it was a mistake, a terrible mistake, but it doesn't change how I feel about you." Mistake. 4 months was a mistake. A mistake is burning dinner. This was a choice. Hundreds of choices. Thousands of moments where he'd chosen her over me. Why? The word broke in the middle. Why her? Why my sister? I don't know. That's not good enough. Sophia, I don't know. She was there and she paid attention to me and I was flattered and stupid and— He pressed his hands to his face. There's no good answer. There's no reason that makes this okay. Did you use protection? The question came from some clinical part of my brain that understood I needed practical information. He nodded without meeting my eyes. "Yes, always." "So considerate." I laughed, and it sounded unhinged. "You risked my health, but at least you were safe about it. What a gentleman." "I'm sorry. I'm so, so sorry." "Did you love her?" He hesitated. "Don't lie to me anymore, Marcus. Please, just this once." He finally met my eyes. "I didn't love her. It was physical, exciting, all the cliches, but I didn't love her. I love you." Both statements somehow managing to be true and completely meaningless at the same time. "Leave. Get out of my house right now." "Sophia, get out or I will call the police." "This is my house too." "Then I'll leave. I'll pack a bag and go, and you can stay here in our bed where you brought my sister in and think about what you've done." "Please, let's talk about this." "There's nothing to talk about." My voice finally rose, all the numbness cracking to reveal the rage underneath. "You brought my sister in our bed. You've been lying to me for 4 months. You looked me in the eye every single day and lied. What is there to talk about? Whether you can forgive me." The audacity of it, as if forgiveness was just a switch I could flip. "I don't know if I can forgive you. I don't know if I want to forgive you. I don't know anything except that I can't look at you right now. Where do you want me to go?" "I don't care. A friend's house, your office, sleep in your car for all I care." He nodded slowly, defeated. I heard him moving around upstairs, packing. He came back down with the suitcase, stood by the door. "I'll call you," he said. I didn't respond. "I love you, Sophia. Please believe that." Then he was gone. The house fell into a silence so complete it had weight. I sat down on the kitchen floor, not because I meant to, but because my legs just stopped working. I sat there on the cold tile and tried to cry. Nothing came. I was beyond tears, in a place where there was only numbness and the slow motion replay of Nicole's smile. That smile she'd wanted me to see. I don't know how long I sat there. The light changed from gold to blue. My phone buzzed several times. I didn't check it. Finally, I stood. My body ached like I'd been in a car accident. I walked through the house like a stranger, seeing it for the first time. The photos on the walls, our wedding, Elena's childhood, family holidays with Nicole always there, always smiling, all looked like lies. My phone buzzed again. I finally looked. 13 missed calls from Marcus, 8 text messages. Please talk to me. I'm at the Hilton downtown. I'm sorry. I love you. I deleted them without responding. Then a text from an unknown number. Sophia, it's Nicole. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I wanted to say I'm truly sorry. I never meant to hurt you. Please don't tell Elena. It would destroy her. The nerve. She was worried about Elena being destroyed. I typed back, you meant to hurt me. That's why you made sure I saw. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. I know you must hate me right now, but Elena doesn't deserve to lose both her aunt and her parents' marriage over this. As if those things were equivalent. I threw my phone across the room. It hit the wall but didn't break. Of course, nothing was that simple. The next morning, I woke up on the couch. For exactly 3 seconds, I didn't remember. Then it all came crashing back. I showered in water as hot as I could stand, trying to scald away the feeling of violation. I looked at myself in the mirror. The woman staring back was a stranger, pale, hollow-eyed, but still standing. Alana was coming for lunch at noon. I had 2 hours to transform back into a mother. When she arrived, all energy and warmth, she hugged me tight. Mom, you look exhausted. Are you okay? Just didn't sleep well. I lied. The lies were already starting. We sat in the kitchen, looking at fabric samples for her new apartment. She was so excited, talking about decorating, about her new job at an environmental nonprofit. The whole time I was screaming inside. Your father is sleeping with your aunt. Your aunt wanted me to catch them. But I said nothing. I played my part. Where's Dad? She asked casually. The question hit like a physical blow. Working. Big case. She looked up. Too perceptive. Is everything okay with you guys? You both seem weird lately. It's just life, I said, forcing a smile that felt like my face was cracking. Nothing to worry about. After she left, I finally let myself cry. I cried until there was nothing left. Then I stopped, sat up, and wiped my face. Something was shifting inside me, something cold and sharp emerging from the wreckage. It felt like clarity, like rage distilled into something pure and focused. I pulled out my laptop and started searching. I read it to understand. I scrolled back through Nicole's Instagram. The photos told a story I'd been too trusting to read. Dozens of photos at our house, Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, barbecues, always positioned close to Marcus. I enlarged one from 6 months ago. There, in the background, was Marcus's profile. 6 months. He'd said 4. Another lie. I kept digging. Her Facebook, her LinkedIn. She was connected to Marcus's colleagues, his law partners. I searched their names together. A firm charity gala 8 months ago. Nicole in the background, talking to Marcus's senior partner. The pieces were arranging themselves into a picture I didn't want to see. This wasn't just an affair. This was calculated. She'd been working her way into his life, into our life, for months, maybe longer. She didn't just want him, she wanted what I had.
She wanted to be me. I picked up my phone and made a call. Anderson Investigations? How can I help you? I need to hire someone for surveillance and background research.
The investigator's name was Rachel Chen, early 50s, former FBI, with sharp eyes that missed nothing. We met at a coffee shop in downtown Portland. "What are you hoping to get from this investigation?" she asked, direct and professional. "Everything. I need to know if they're still seeing each other. I need to know if there are others. I need to understand the full scope of what's been happening." Rachel nodded, making notes. "And then what? Are you filing for divorce?" "I'm going to do more than file for divorce." Over the next 3 weeks, I played a role, the wounded wife considering reconciliation. I met Marcus for quiet, sad dinners, where he'd hold my hand across the table and promise to do better, to be better, to never hurt me again. All while Rachel and her team documented everything. They were still seeing each other. Despite Nicole's tearful texts claiming it was over, that she'd made a terrible mistake, they were still meeting. More carefully now. Different hotels, paid in cash, burner phones. But Rachel got photos, timestamps, undeniable proof. The background check on Nicole was even more revealing. "Your instincts were good," Rachel said, handing me a thick folder across her desk. "Your sister has a pattern." I opened it. An affair with her college advisor when she was 22. Another with a married coworker at her first job. Both times the relationships had ended badly. Both times Nicole had moved on, the pattern hidden from most people who knew her. She targets men in stable relationships, works her way in, makes herself indispensable to the family, then strikes. She wants what they have, the stability, the life. She's done this before, and she's gotten better at hiding it. "What about Marcus?" I asked, my voice steady, despite the nausea churning in my stomach. "Has he done this before?" "Not that I can find. Either he's been incredibly careful his entire life, or she really is his first affair." She paused. "However, I did find something interesting in his finances. Over the past 6 months, he's been moving money, small amounts, transferred to a separate account he opened. About $53,000 so far. He was planning a future with her. While telling me he wanted to fix our marriage, he was building an exit strategy. I want everything documented," I told Rachel. "Every photo, every receipt, every financial record. All of it court ready." "You have a plan." "I'm working on one." Elena's 23rd birthday was in 4 weeks. She was planning a small dinner party at her apartment, just close friends and family. I called her. "Sweetheart, why don't we do your birthday here instead, at the house? More space, and I can help with the cooking." She was hesitant at first, but loved the idea. "That would be amazing, Mom. Can we invite Aunt Nicole?" My stomach clenched. "Of course, honey. It's your birthday. Invite whoever you want." I had a colleague from work help me set up a presentation. The evidence organized into a clear, damning narrative. Photos, text messages, financial records, timelines, everything. I'd play it on our living room TV after dinner. I also made sure certain people were on the guest list. Marcus's law partners, Nicole's boss from the marketing agency where she worked, and I made one special addition, a woman named Jennifer Walsh. She was the wife of Nicole's former coworker, the one from the affair 3 years ago. I'd found her through public records, reached out, and told her my story. "She's doing it again," Jennifer had whispered over coffee, her eyes filled with a pain I recognized intimately. "God, she's doing exactly what she did to us." "Help me stop her." Jennifer agreed. She'd come to the party as my guest. The night of the party, I felt eerily calm.
I'd spent weeks preparing, and now it was time. Elena was radiant in a blue dress, her dark hair swept up. Marcus arrived, awkward but trying to act normal. Nicole arrived 20 minutes late, stunning in a black dress, her auburn hair perfect. She hugged Elena, then turned to me. Sophia, thank you for hosting. This is lovely. Of course, I said, and smiled. I let her think she was safe. Let her think I was the same naive woman who'd caught them and then retreated into silence. Dinner was perfect. Roasted chicken, Elena's favorite. We laughed, we told stories, we toasted to Elena's future. Then I stood up. Before we have cake, I said, I'd like to share something, a little presentation. Elena smiled, curious. Mom, what is it? You'll see. Everyone come into the living room. They filed in. Elena, Marcus, Nicole, the law partners, Nicole's boss from the marketing agency where she worked, Elena's friends. Confused but compliant. I picked up the remote and turned on the TV. The screen filled with text. The truth about Nicole Bennett and Marcus Bennett. Elena's smile faltered. Mom, what? Just watch, sweetheart, please. I pressed play. The presentation began with a photo of Marcus and Nicole entering the Riverside Hotel. Date stamp, 3 weeks ago. The room went completely silent. I watched Elena's face drain of color. She turned to look at Nicole, then Marcus, then back at the screen. No, she whispered. No, no, no. Then came the text messages, projected large enough for everyone to read. Marcus, I can't stop thinking about you. Nicole, then don't. Sophia suspects nothing. Marcus, when can I see you again? Nicole, tomorrow, the usual place. She has a meeting until 6. Elena made a sound, a sob that seemed to come from somewhere deep inside her. Aunt Nicole? Dad, tell me this isn't real. Neither of them spoke. Nicole had gone white. Marcus was staring at the screen like he could will it to disappear. The presentation continued. More photos, more messages. Then came Nicole's history, the professor, the coworker. Jennifer stepped forward from the back of the room. That's my husband, Jennifer said, her voice shaking but strong. What your aunt did to my family 3 years ago. Nicole was crying now, mascara running down her face. This is a violation. Of what? I asked calmly. Your privacy? Everything here is true, all documented. You violated my family, Nicole. You violated my marriage, my home, my daughter's trust. The financial records came next. The secret account, the $53,000 Marcus had been hiding. You were planning to leave me, I said, looking at Marcus for the first time all evening. While telling me you wanted to work things out, you were planning your exit. Sophia, please, his voice broke. No, I cut him off. You don't get to speak. Not now. Elena was sobbing, her friends around her, trying to comfort her. She looked at Marcus with absolute devastation. How could you? She's Mom's sister. She's my aunt. How could you both do this? Honey, please let me explain. Marcus reached for her. Elena jerked away like he'd burned her. Don't touch me. Don't you dare touch me. Nicole was still crying, but there was anger now mixed with the tears. You had no right to do this, to humiliate us like this in front of everyone. I had every right, I said, my voice steel. You smiled at me, Nicole. When I walked in on you in my bed, you smiled. You wanted me to see. You wanted me to know. Well, now everyone knows. Now everyone sees exactly what you are. The presentation ended. The screen went black. I turned on the lights. My attorney will be contacting you tomorrow, I said to Marcus. Divorce papers will be filed by the end of the week.
I want you out of this house by Sunday. Sophia, I'm not done, I continued. Nicole, if you contact me, Marcus, or Elena ever again, I will file for a restraining order and I will make sure every employer in this city knows exactly what you do to families.
You can't do that. Nicole's tears had stopped, her face hardening. That's defamation. It's the truth, Jennifer said quietly, and I'll testify to it. So will others. Nicole grabbed her purse, her hands shaking. You'll regret this, Sophia. The only thing I regret, I said, is trusting you. Now get out. She left. The door slammed behind her. Marcus stood there, looking at me like he was seeing me for the first time. 20 years, he said softly. 20 years of marriage, and you destroy it all in one night. I didn't destroy anything, I said. You did that the first time you touched my sister. I just made sure everyone knew the truth. You ambushed our family. I simply returned the favor. He left without another word. The room cleared slowly. Elena's friends took her upstairs. The guests departed, most of them avoiding eye contact with me. When everyone was gone, except Elena and me, we sat together on the couch in the ruins of her birthday party. I'm sorry, I said, taking her hand. I'm so sorry I did it this way, but I needed you to see the truth clearly, with evidence, so they couldn't manipulate you with excuses and lies. Mom, Elena squeezed my hand, her eyes red but clear. You protected me. You carried this alone until you could show me in a way I couldn't deny. I love you, and I'm so proud of you. We held each other, while my heart broke and mended simultaneously. The next 6 months moved in a blur of legal proceedings and slow reconstruction. The video from the party had spread through our social circle. Marcus's law partners quietly asked him to take a leave of absence. Nicole was fired from her job after her boss saw the presentation, apparently workplace ethics violations. The divorce was finalized. I got the house and a fair settlement. Marcus got an apartment in Southeast Portland and whatever was left of his reputation. Elena and I started therapy, both individually and together. We talked, we cried, we healed, slowly, in the way broken things heal, not back to what they were, but into something new. 1 year after I opened that bedroom door, I was in a coffee shop when I saw her, Nicole. She looked different, thinner, harder around the edges. She was with an older man wearing a wedding ring. They were sitting close, her hand on his arm, leaning in with practiced ease. The pattern was repeating. Our eyes met across the cafe. Recognition flickered in hers, then that familiar cold calculation. She smiled, not victorious this time, but not ashamed either. It was a smile that said, "You didn't break me. You didn't stop me." My first instinct was rage, the urge to walk over, to warn the man, to expose her again. But I didn't. I couldn't spend my life following her around, saving people from her. She had already taken enough from me. Instead, I smiled back. Not the wounded smile of a victim, not the broken smile of someone still hurting, a smile of someone who'd survived, who'd rebuilt her life brick by brick. A smile that said, "You wanted my life, but I'm still here, stronger, and you're still chasing the same hollow victory." A smile that said, "I won." I stood, gathered my things, and walked past her table without a word. I left her to her next victim, her next scheme. She wasn't my problem anymore. I drove home to the house I'd reclaimed, to the life I'd rebuilt from rubble. Elena was coming for dinner, just the two of us. I was making her favorite pasta. In the driveway, I sat for a moment and looked at my home, the place where everything had fallen apart and where I'd slowly, painfully put the pieces back together. The cracks were still visible. They always would be. But cracks let the light in, and I was full of light now, hard-won, battle-tested, mine. I unlocked my front door and walked into my house. Behind me, the past stayed where it belonged. Ahead of me, the future waited. Uncertain, but mine to shape. As I started cooking, I caught my reflection in the kitchen window. I was smiling, not with pain, not with bitterness, but with peace. Nicole had smiled at me in that bedroom, thinking she had won. But now, I was the one smiling. And this time, it was real. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of the story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.